Our daily life is in the process of undergoing what amounts to an evolutionary transition. New technologies that are appearing one after another are having impacts in many fields, leading to the creation of yet newer technologies. HORIBA is tackling this evolutionary change with our measurement technologies. A paradigm shift has started. Electric and autonomous vehicles will be major players in enabling next-generation mobility. We work in a broad range of business fields, including the automotive measurement, processing and environmental, medical, semiconductor and scientific fields. We are expanding our possibilities even further by maximizing the synergies between our various business areas. Our product and application development is conducted across different fields to provide wide-ranging solutions that us to develop and provide high-quality products with a short lead time. HORIBA is taking the initiative around the globe to mount an agile response to the changing environment in order to cultivate our business and to improve our value as a company. We opened the Reno Technology Center in the U.S. to enhance our development activities in the semiconductor field. Moreover, we are making contributions to society in areas outside our own areas of business as a leading corporation in the analytical and measuring instrument field. Our management is aimed at matrix management, which is our proprietary global operation model to respond to market conditions and trends in various countries around the world in each of our 5 main business areas. We have rolled out a medium to long-term management plan, ML-MAP 2023, with the objective of achieving further growth by expanding our areas of business and building new business models. The hawk is our symbol of ML-MAP. The hawk is a bird that takes aim at its targets from a viewpoint high in the sky and then swoops down to achieve these targets swiftly and precisely. Our mission is to satisfy the expectations of our customers, partners, and society through the unique products and services that are created using our highly advanced analytical and measuring technologies. We would like to convey to the world the joy of understanding through measuring. HORIBA's technologies are shining a bright light on the future that is yet to be born.
The land of the rising sun, Japan. A truly timeless place where ancient traditions are fused with modern life. Japan is a technology and innovation leader, where many science and technology giants have taken shape and changed the blueprint of the modern world. Following the same practice, a phenomenon called HORIBA Limited was established by its founder, Dr. Masao HORIBA. Since its incorporation in 1953, the HORIBA Group has been expanding, acting true to the company's philosophy of boundless world. With a vision of making a mark across the globe, HORIBA started its journey in India in 2006. In a short span, HORIBA India successfully started the operations and offices in various cities of the country. With 13-year journey of its evolution in India, HORIBA has covered many milestones of excellence and has set the benchmarks in various fields. Starting with its opening in New Delhi, HORIBA India managed to pave its path towards success. New segment introductions, additions of services and facilities gave a major turn to HORIBA's growth in India. The leadership also saw the humongous potential in HORIBA India and motivated the team further. Major breakthroughs, achievements and laurels in HORIBA India's timeline have been helpful in striking great deals in the business with continuously increasing customer base. And of bringing in innovations and developments. After standing tall in Indian market, HORIBA India broadened its reach to SOG fraternity to support the SOG business of HORIBA. Has evolved and grown under the able leadership of its president. HORIBA India has been raising the bar of excellence and is in constant competition with its own achievements. A strong presence in 5 major segments of the industry stands testimony to the success story. HORIBA Automotive Test Systems, HORIBA Process and Environmental, HORIBA Medical, HORIBA Semiconductor, HORIBA Scientific. Located in a bustling industrial area of New Delhi, HORIBA India boasts of various facilities in-house. HORIBA India employees form a family and the family has grown with leaps and bounds and still counting. With total dedication towards the clients, HORIBA also believes in considering the employees as a family. Joy and fun is the company's motto, and HORIBA India believes in taking interest and pride in work to bring enthusiasm and excitement in all the processes. HORIBA represents one company.
I would like to thank ISW Council for giving this opportunity to HORIBA to speak about their reviewed contribution during the pandemic and COVID time. Let me explain. HORIBA Medical is basically a hematology company, and we have been number 2 in hematology for quite some time now, 3-4 years or so. But as soon as the pandemic came and we came into the situation of the COVID, the whole world changed, and accordingly our strategy has changed, our situation has changed. Half of the labs are closed, half of situation has changed from illness to wellness to illness. Mostly our business was wellness, but because of the wellness now you know that nobody wants to danger himself to go and in the hospital. So only when you are critically sick, you are going to the hospital. So business has become from illness. However, we have to be in the race. We have to be still in the part of the business. So we thought and we decided to change our strategy of our business. We introduced newer products like sanitizers and all that things. Ultimately, we also thought that as HORIBA has to give something back to society, and we have to become part of situation of the that a pandemic is. We thought it the only currently the one parameter of the COVID situation is the fever. So why don't we bring some product which is taking care of the fever? So we came with a concept of the fever clinic concept. We introduce a fever clinic. Fever clinic means that you have all the instruments and the techniques to measure the fever. So ultimately, if you have a fever, it can be treated separately. If you don't have a fever, it can be treated separately. You can't do anything about the asymptomatic situation, but at least if you have a fever, if you are symptomatic, at least it has to be treated differently. We have a product called MECRP. It is product by Japan, and we introduced this product in various labs and hospitals, and it is being used as an infection marker, infection differentiator. If your MECRP is increased, you have a suspected situation of a COVID. Otherwise, it is not. We also introduced like VTM kits and sanitizers, other things which is ultimately helping the testing of the COVID. So newer situation, we are in a new normal situation. We change our gear, we change our situation, we change our communication. We went with a lot of webinars. We start talking to our customers by web. It is mainly a digital marketing, digital business. So we learned a lot of things. I think certain things will still continue even after non-COVID situation, but we have tried to convert our non-COVID business into the COVID business. I once again would like to thank ISW Council to giving this opportunity to showcase HORIBA endeavors in the pandemic situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the ISW Council members and the community, to give HORIBA Medical a platform to share the views and the expressions with regards to the technological development and the advancement happening. HORIBA has always come up with the new technology and the instruments for the betterment of the community and the humanity as a whole. Looking into the current COVID situation, the HORIBA's micro SME CRP is a product enables with the parameter like a complete blood count, CRP, the GLR, the granulocyte to lymphocyte ratio, and also with an robust R&D or the deeper R&D innovations, we have today developed something called as a malaria flagging, which will give an added on advantages in cases of fever to screen the patient suffering from malarial fever. So these parameters have established themselves as a potential tool for screening and monitoring of the COVID-19 patients, and also helps in the malaria detection. As we all know, the COVID's first important feature is the fever. So CRP is a potent inflammatory marker which is used during the therapies process of corona positive patients. Increase in the CRP level seems to be associated with the disease severity and the prognosis. We also have our advanced 5-part hematology analyzers named as Umizin H550 for the ultimate need of the febrile patients, wherein with our again the technological advancement within the routine complete blood count, we are also able to give the malarial infection detection as well as the dengue infection. Not only the malaria, only the general malaria, but we are also able to categorize the type of malaria like the malarial Plasmodium 5X infection as well as the Plasmodium falciparum infection, which is very important when we need to categorize the patients for its severity or for the OPD treatment and for the further managements. We believe the above available features can revolutionize the in vitro diagnostic industry and also help the healthcare facilities for getting the screening and the management at a very early stages of the diseases, which can be a very potential tool for the healthcare facilities like the outpatient departments, the physicians clinic, the radiology setups, the nursing homes and the hospitals. So this is what I can add up from the technological aspect and the advancements what HORIBA Medical is trying to do and perceive in the coming future. Thank you. As we all know, the role of the diagnostic or the pathology laboratories have been in this COVID-19 era infection. As when this pandemic situation of the COVID-19 came into picture, everybody was talking only about one thing, or the WHO, the World Health Organization, or the CDC were talking about how we can do the maximum testing so that we find out what exactly the number of people are infected due to the COVID-19 infection. And also it was a need of ours to segregate these infected people with the COVID infection from the other routine infections, so that the treatment and the management keeps on going for the both sides of the diseases. So as you asked this question, what the role of the diagnostic and the pathology industry, the diagnostic and the pathology industry seems to be playing a very key important role in the business during the challenging COVID-19 infection. Currently we are observing the diseases in the patients. Sampling has not been so much of in testing because the smaller and the medium sized laboratories have been seized or they have been shut down because they don't have the facilities as we are expecting in this pandemic situation, or there might be a scare or fear if these people go to the smaller segments of the healthcare facilities, there would be an infection in the community. So that also gives a very sad aspect where we want the maximum testing to happen, but the facilities are not available at the smaller scale of the laboratories. But they also need to be functional, because moreover the laboratories are more focused towards the COVID-19 infection rather than the routine testing.
Let me thank IHW Council for giving this excellent opportunity to talk about the insurance sector and how it's going to boost healthcare insurance as well as how it's going to get affect the industry. I look at this question into two parts, and let me take a start on the first part, that how the healthcare insurance basically is going to affect the commoners actually, or the people or the public in large. You would also agree that the pandemic has totally changed the way the business operates currently, and none of the sectors is left out. However, I would say that insurance sector is not an exception to this yet. There are tremendous opportunities which can really boom this sector in coming time. Healthcare insurance currently covers only close to 18% of the urban population in India, and close to 15% of the rural population. Still, a large amount of insurance has to be looked for the people who are living in villages or even in the urban areas. Primarily, this is because of the out-of-pocket expenses, and people are not able to pay the relevant kind of tests needed, and therefore the ambitious scheme, which is Ayushman Bharat, or the National Health Protection Mission scheme by our Honorable Prime Minister that was released, has been quite successful, and I guess it is also supporting the cause for the COVID-19. One main concern basically is that this COVID-19 crisis in link to Ayushman Bharat is still not understood by a lot of people. So there have been quite of discussions related to the same, but let me assure that this COVID and Ayushman Bharat coverage for the COVID is now available, and the people can get benefit out of it. With the COVID healthcare insurance, policies are expected to increase, and the claims can get settled by 30 to 40% is what is expected out of the industry, as well as what we look forward to in coming time. Now, coming to your part 2, the industry factor which you asked, that how it's going to affect or impact the industry. I guess that cost is going to play a major role here, because while going for any kind of testings, the critical factor that comes to most of our minds is that how much is the cost of the test. And while getting the tests which are listed even by the doctors or practitioners, people kind of cut their tests and do a limited test that could really affect. And one of the major reasons is that all the tests are not covered. I guess with the insurance coverage now available for most of the tests, the people and the public in large who wish to get their tests done would like to get the entire panel of tests done, because now the insurance coverage would be available for everything, and it is going to impact positively to the industry in terms of more people getting their tests done. So in a nutshell, I understand that it's going to be a very positive impact to the insurance companies, and we look forward to a booming insurance sector in coming time. Thanks for the question, and looking forward to excellent show from the IHW Council. Thank you very much.
In any business, if you wanted to grow the business, either you have to increase the geographical area, or you have to expand your product range. We also expanded our product range, but also we have extended our geographical area. We start thinking of a neighboring countries like Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Maldives. All these we have been doing business, but we have not been present in the Bangladesh. Recently, we started our business with Bangladesh. Bangladesh, honestly speaking, these are we call as a neighboring countries, or we call as export countries, but honestly, Bangladesh is just an extension of Calcutta, is an extension of East. Nepal is an extension of North. Sri Lanka is extension of South. These are the just extension is one of the another state of the country. So Bangladesh is a potential market. Their GDP is good. Their medical business has been growing. So we have started our own business in Bangladesh now. We have put our couple of people there, and also we have decided couple of distributors to be there. Ultimately, end of the day, we would like to do at least 20 to 25 crores of the business in Bangladesh in next 3 years to come. Thank you.
HORIBA India, being a very, very important player in the healthcare and diagnostic industry, had no choice but to resume the supply chain operations immediately after announcement of the nationwide lockdown. We could resume our operations in just about a week of declaration of the nationwide lockdown. We had a few initiatives from our side regarding the resumption of the supply chain operations. The first and foremost thing that we did was to create a contingency plan. And the most important thing in the contingency plan was to increase the supply base. So what we did was we quickly stocked few locations of India so that we were able to be close to the customer and provide them products, especially the reagents, almost on a just-in-time basis. A very important part of the contingency plan is to have the team in place. So what we did is we called the team to office on a roster basis, taking all the permissions and approvals from the local authorities so that they're able to come to the office and manage the warehouse and arrange for the supplies. We talked to the transporters pretty much in advance because there was a shortage of getting space for transportation. There was a labor shortage in the country, and we could somehow be able to book some space with the transporters and we could ship our goods to the various destinations. Although it was a huge challenge because the turnaround time in having these goods sent to the respective locations and destinations, the turnaround time had almost doubled, and there were some hospitals which are our very special and important customers where we had to reach the reagents, which was very critical for them to run the laboratories, because without that the patient testings were not we were not able to do those testings. So that's another part of the contingency plan that we did. And again, being in a leadership role in the organization, it was very, very important for me to take care of the team. So what did we do to take care of the team? We procured safety equipment, safety gear. We made sure that they are taking care of their personal safety. We made arrangements of sending personal vehicles to them so that there's only one person along with the driver so that they're safely able to come to office and maintain social distance while working. As an organization, we took utmost care of the health and safety of the employees. We installed sanitizing tunnels at all the locations so that our employees can come to office and enter the office with safety, and they are not a threat to the other employees with whom they are working. We installed multiple sanitizing stations across all corners in the office so that people are able to sanitize themselves, propagated the use of hand sanitizers, washing hands, using masks and maintaining social distance. So these were some of the most important things that we did so that our employees came to office, especially the supply chain management people. They were in office and they did an extremely good job, and they are also the real corona warriors, if you ask me, as of today, because they did not care for themselves, they did not care for their families as much as they cared for the organization, because we were major contributors in the healthcare system of the country. To take care of our employees, we ensured that they come to office in personal vehicles so that they maintain social distancing, and also we took an additional COVID insurance for our employees, which I think was very, very motivating for all of them, because we received so many thank you messages as management of the organization. So it was definitely a very, very challenging period. We are still going through challenges, but as life has to go on and we have to continue with our service towards the community, HORIBA India stands very tall with all the courage, with all the determination and the great engagement of the employees. Thank you. I would take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to IHW Council for giving us this platform to share our experiences during the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic is still there. It is still a challenge. And I would really take the opportunity of thanking the HORIBA warriors who have been the real corona warriors during this pandemic, so that they are able to stay motivated and do their best for the organization. Thanks once again to IHW Council.